Everybody in this room wants two things. Everybody wants to be successful and everybody wants to be happy. I'm going to tell you something about that. That happiness and success is available for every last one of you. But I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do. You're going to change your mindset. If you're planning on being successful, you have to change this here. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is right here. It ain't no difference. It ain't none. I ain't got no more than none of y'all got. God gave me the same thing he gave y'all. God loved me the same as he loved all y'all. He don't love me more than he loved you. But you have got to change your mindset. You got to get funky if you want to be successful. If you think that they're going to mail this money to your house, you're dead wrong about that. If you think they're going to pave the way for you and make it easy, you're dead wrong about that. If you want to be successful, you got to change your mind, and you're going to have some faith.
If you're putting yourself in a position where you're being hard on yourself, and you don't feel that you're worthy of something, let me tell you something right now. In most cases, none of us are worthy of certain things because we haven't earned it yet. That means that some things that it is that you are seeking and certain things that you really ultimately need rather than just want, it has to be some form of worthiness connected to it. Do you really want to get further in life? Do you really want to get to the next level in your life? Then what are you prepared to do? How far are you willing to go? What type of sacrifices are you willing to make? Or are you in a position to give excuses all of your power? Are you willing to let excuses control the life that you've been given? Regardless of the circumstances, being hard on yourself to some degree may be okay. But when you start to have a pity party, when you start to put yourself in a position as if your life is over, then shame on you, because your life is not over. Every opportunity that you have been given is right there, right now, waiting for you to make a move. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to pretend that you're being something that you know you're not? Are you going to pretend to be a lion when you don't even know what it's like to be in the jungle? Or are you going to realize that just maybe you got to work just a little bit harder, regardless of what it is, to get exactly what it is that you are seeking? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody has walked through darkness. Some people stayed in darkness and not even tried to seek the light. But I can promise you this. We all got to go through a struggle. We all got to go through certain circumstances. We all have our battles that we have to fight. But what are you prepared to do? Are you going to submit? Are you going to give in? Are you going to give up? Are you going to say you're not worthy anymore? Well, like I said before, none of us are worthy to a certain degree. But what are you prepared to do to become more than what you were yesterday? Earn your keep, my beautiful people. Earn it. Don't expect anybody to hand you anything. Don't expect a pat on your back. Don't wait for someone to validate who you really are. Make the most of your life, my beautiful people. This is your time. Be productive, be powerful, and from the bottom of my heart, my beautiful people, conduct your business. Coach Payne out. Hoo-yah!
A lot of people in this world have died 80, 90, 100 years old, and they lived a great life. They had a lot of things. But a lot of people who have died never really started the true journey that whatever you believe in, God, or whatever you believe in, if you believe in nothing, I believe we're all here to start a journey. And that journey is fucking hard. If you choose your real journey. Most of us, we decide to take a different journey in life. It's a journey of least resistance. And so what I challenge people to do is to realize that in themselves that, yeah, I have taken a lot of left turns and I should have stayed straight because why? I wasn't good at something. and it embarrassed me to not be good at something, or I wasn't the smartest person, or this or that, whatever all these excuses are that we build up. Find the truth of who you are. Go back to the start of your journey and go down that path. I guarantee you, if you finish that journey and you don't fear and waver and go places that are very easy, the other end of that journey, let me tell you, is a peaceful end. I'm not saying it's over for me, but I believe the hardest part of my life is over. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine anything else being worse than this. So,
yeah, to welcome the discomfort that comes with that, to like embrace the difficult aspect. We just want to run away from all that stuff. But that's if you really want to connect with who you are and you really want to feel fulfilled,
right?
Like you have to confront that, whether it's the lie that you're telling yourself about who you are, or the secret that you're keeping, or, you know, that thing that you wish you were doing, but you're too afraid to start doing it.
And that's the moral of the story, man. Is stop putting categories on people, and because you are insecure yourself. So it makes you feel better as a person to say, this guy did this or this girl did that or whatever. It makes you feel that much better. People love seeing failure. It makes them feel so good about themselves to see somebody not succeed at something. Makes them feel better.
Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times, Les? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That is not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. In the Far East, they have something that's called the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. And when they go through a process of growing it, they have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. Okay? But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years, because at any time had that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that dream, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. And I can see people coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground that's not showing anything. Hey, what you doing? You've been out here a long time, man. And the conversation in the neighborhood is, you growing a Chinese bamboo tree, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see ain't nothing showing. You know that's how people are going to do you? So how long have you been working on this? How long have you been working on your dreams? And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show? People are going to do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. Because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You got to keep on watering your dream. And when it began to happen, they stopped laughing. They said, look, whoa, look here. Look out. Hey, man, you know, I know you could do it. Look here, you got a job here? See, during those hard times, we didn't know how you're going to make payroll. During those times when you failed and things didn't work out, they were nowhere to be found. But know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you. Don't worry about the people that God has removed from your life. He saw things you didn't see. He heard conversations you couldn't hear, and he made moves you wouldn't make. And that's it. But now if you're gonna stay there and cry, see, here go the problem with them. Okay, they close your company. You stand at the door, open the door, open the door. The company's closed. You gotta open back up, get some more investors, open your company. Could it be that all he wants you to do is go, wow, it's been great, been some years, walk up the hall? Could it be that there's a different door that he wants you to go through that was better than the door that got shut in your face? It's really, you have to live your life in the expectation of wonderful things happen. God is a merciful God. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He didn't set you up to fail. You're tripping. You're tripping, man. He only wants to progress his children. That's all he wants to do. Even if you're wrong, he forgives us. Just keep moving, man. It ain't nothing. This thing right here, really, man, you got to look. So many good things have happened to me. Now, look, I've had some painful moments in this like you. But hey, I look for the bright side, man. I expect something good to happen. I'm back at work. I don't know what he was doing, but he'd have made a move for me because I ask him to all the time. And then I just sit in expectation and wait and see what he got for me because he got something for me. Somebody asked me a question the other day. If you could go back to any period in your life, what period would you go back to? I ain't ever had it this good. This is the best of my life ever been. You gotta be nuts. Man, you wouldn't want to be 25 again? Are you kidding me? The 25-year-old dude that was me? I'm so glad that idiot is gone. No. 63 years old, man. It's the best my life ever been. You know what I'm saying? But that's a scripture, though. If you honor me, your latter days will be greater. So all I do, I just honor him, and he gonna keep shining on me.
What this emotion is telling you is you need to change your perception, because otherwise you're going to feel pain for no reason. You might also look at this same situation as a symbol that you need to change your procedure.
But for some of you, that contract messed you up. You soft now. You ain't as hungry as you was when you was in high school. You ain't as hungry as you was when you was in college.
But what's going to make the major difference? Each person's personal philosophy that sets a better sail, sets a better sail. So don't ask for a more favorable wind. That's like wishing something that's not going to occur.
Anybody can give up, anybody can let it overwhelm you, but you know what that's doing, wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you, it's there to prepare you to increase you to develop you. Difficulties are a part of life. Now quit telling yourself you can't take. If you're not weak, you are well able. Eventually, the pain will pass. You'll give birth to new strength. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. There will always be forces trying to convince us to settle where we are. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down.
Procedure means the way you're proceeding with this information. In other words, what this may be is a signal to you that you really aren't communicating your real needs to your husband or to your wife. Maybe what you need to do is change your procedure, and instead of feeling hurt or instead of feeling uncomfortable, turn to your husband or wife and say, honey, I know you're wrapped up in your work. I know you're totally immersed. I know you're trying to do stuff that supports the whole family here. But you know what? I just need, 3 minutes with just you and I, because I really need right now to just feel loved by you. I need to hold you. I need to feel connected to you. Now, if that person starts to get upset, obviously you're getting feedback that your procedure still didn't work. You have to be a little more flexible, a little more creative, or maybe a little bit more loving in the way you do it. Or maybe change the timing in which you go about something. But that's changing procedure, changing the way you communicate. Or another way of changing procedure might be it's a signal that says that the way you're communicating your husband or wife doesn't make them want to make you feel loved right now.
You ain't as hungry as you were your first year. You ain't as hungry as you were your second year. And it can tell it, like, we can see it in your game. You're a grown man. Like, I used to watch the game and go like, okay, what's the difference between this team and this team? And it's just like the players. I'm like, no, it's got to be bigger than that. Like, they're all grown, they're all big, they're all tight, they shoot the same way. And I started realizing some dudes come with that beast and other dudes just show up. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. This is going to be hard because some of you young and you like still worried about what people think about you, so you don't want to be honest in front of people. I'm going to ask you a serious question. If 120% is like, yo, bump coach, I work harder than coach want me to work. And then 100% is I do everything coach tell me to do. I want you to think about what level you on. Are you giving 90, 80, 70? Let's see what I'm saying for a minute. And most of y'all know me. You know me from where? Like, where would you know me from?
That your present behavior may be turning them off. For example, let's say you feel rejected by them because when you come in the door, they don't rush up and give you a hug. They're immersed in something. Now, how do you respond to that? Well, what a lot of people do when they feel rejected is they feel uncomfortable with it, or they feel hurt, or some people get angry when they feel rejected. Now, what's the message of anger? The message of anger is you have a standard for your life, something that's important to you, and it's not being met by another person, or maybe even not being met by you. Sometimes we get angry because we're not living our own standards, huh? So let's say as a result, one of your standards is that people who love you, they run up and they greet you in your home. They don't do that today. You feel angry. One of your standards has been violated. Something you believe important is not happening, and now you're angry about it. How do you respond now to your spouse who doesn't even know what's going on? Maybe you give them a dirty look, or maybe you make some snide remark, or you find something wrong with what they're doing. As a result, this person may very well purposely reject you. Now when you're feeling this rejection, or you're feeling this hurt or this anger, and you say, okay.
Social media. Where would you know me from? Say it again. Social media. Yep, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. Watch this. I get 120. So I just got up 12years ago, just started getting online. It was a recession at the time. And I saw what was going on in America. I'm from Detroit. GM, Chrysler, Ford went down. People started going to the casinos, shooting themselves, killing themselves. I was like, I got a gift. I'm just going to get online and kill it. Every Monday I would get up. Thank God it's Monday. Kill it. Nike never sponsored me. Adidas never sponsored me. Under Armour never sponsored me. I get up every Monday and get a world something. Then it got crazy. I started meeting people, and people be like, yo, E.T., what up? Thank God it's money. I'm like, ooh, they feeling this. So then I started doing it every day. And then I started realizing cats is really feeling this, and I started doing it 3 times a day. You wake up and get 3 videos from me. You won't pay a dime for it. That's 120. Ain't nobody paying me, but I'm giving it out. Year after year after year. Boom, commercials. Year after year. Meek like E, I want to put you on my album.
They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. What are you remembering? The hurt, the pain, what didn't work out? Turn it around and remember your dream. Have you allowed any dreams to get buried in you? At one time, you believed you could do something great. You believed you could lead the company. In sales, you believed you could break that addiction.
Don't ask for better seed and soil. All you got's what's available. Don't curse what you got. The key is to set a better sail and turn what you've got into the miracle of your future. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. That's the reason for coming here, spending a couple of days of intense effort, taking notes, rolling up your sleeves, going to work, commit yourself to learning so that you can get smarter for the days ahead. Now here's number 3. You've got to get going. All of the things that you've learned will not do you that much good if you don't put it into an action plan. You've got to get going.
I don't care if it's babysitting. I don't care if it's doing color. I don't care if it's painting. Whatever it is, it's what you do. Sing it. Whatever you do the best, write it down. That's your gift. That's it. You ain't got to go asking a bunch of people. They've been telling you your whole life. You know, you ever have people call you with their problems? They always call you with your problem because you gifted at it. But you didn't know how to identify it. If you identify your gift. Now, let me ask you this question. This thing that you're gifted at, if you did it for somebody, do you think somebody would pay you $10 for your gift? Just $10. Could you babysit for $10? Could you cut somebody's hair for $10? Could you cut their grass for $10? Could you make them a chicken dinner for $10? Could you do something for $10? Everybody. Don't you have something somebody would give you $10 for? Okay, now.
It's been a long time. Had some bad breaks, wasn't all your fault. You could easily settle where you are, nobody would fault you. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt you're digging. Back out the true mark of a champion is even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off, you keep moving forward.
In my management and leadership seminar, we teach game plans, how to put all the good things that you've learned into action. Economic action, social action, personal action. How to make the changes and how to actually do the work, how to actually function. Get going, that's the key. Some people are ever learning, but they don't put it into action. They don't really take the action. It's like the man who keeps bringing materials to the building site and never builds anything. He keeps bringing in the sand and the gravel and the windows and the doors and the roofing material, and he just stacks up all these supplies, but he never builds anything. See, if you do that long enough, fairly soon they'll come and take you away. You've got to do something with what you've learned. You've got to take action. You've got to get going. So that's one of the most important things to learn, how to design your days, how to design your weeks, how to design the months, so that you take the proper action to get the proper return that you're looking for, whether it's economic or personal.
Once you have something that somebody's willing to pay you $10 for, this is how this works. It's called the multiples of 10. See, you don't have to figure out how to be a millionaire. You just got to figure out the thing that makes you $10. So now here we go. You do it and you make $10. Soon as they pay you the 10, go do it 10 more times. Whatever it was. Watch some more kids, 10 more times. Get another 10, you got $100. When you get $100, whatever you did to make that $100, listen to me, do it 10 more times. You ain't gotta get tricky with it, just do it 10 more times. You'd have made $1,000. Whatever you did to make the $1,000, don't get smart, stay stupid now. Do it 10 more times. You have now made $10,000. Hold up, now we finna grow a little bit, but guess what you gotta do to grow? You just gotta do some more.
You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season.
The only way you can know what you got, the only way you can step into the moment and be fully prepared for the moment, the only way you can deal with the thing and know that you got what it takes to sustain it is to build it from the ground up. Then you really know what you got.
Life is serious. I didn't take life seriously for a very long time. I didn't know. And I didn't know that I didn't know, and I thought I knew. Life is serious, but because I did not believe it myself. For 14 years, I sat on the sideline, living a life that wasn't me, working on jobs that was not me, and got fired. again and again and again. In life, when you don't have enough courage and insight to know that where you are is not your rightful place, life will move on you. Life moved on me and said, come up higher. I got something else for you. And I'm saying to you, if you've had life snatch the rug out from under you, if you've lost your job, your business, your relationship, it's not over until you win.
When what you believe infiltrates behavior, the process gives you foundation. When what you believe infiltrates behavior, the process gives you foundation.
When adversity hits, what are you going to do? Are you going to fold? Are you going to bend? Are you going to cry? Are you going to fall apart? What are you going to do when adversity hit? What are you going to do when you lose your job? Are you going to sit there and cry? Or are you going to get up and stop playing and get busy? We, again, like I said before, have the power to change things. Listen, in this world, adversity is going to happen. One way or the other. It's going to happen. So you need to stop playing and get busy. Look adversity dead in the face and say, let's go. Let's go. No time for us no more to be playing games. No time for us no more to be scared or go ahead in the corner. We have to look adversity in the eye and keep moving. Get busy.
What is that truth we must know? That you're greater than anything that life throws at you. Don't come up in here you playing. I don't play. I'm serious. Only want serious people, hungry people, so you can live a life that will outlive you, so you can leave a legacy rather than liabilities.
You know what you should do? Every time you get a chance to experience first class, you should do it because it plants a seed. It's like the next time you buy an airplane ticket, just ask for an upgrade. Pay a little extra money, fly first class. What it does is it conditions your mind. Once you sit in first class one time, the next time you get on a plane, it's very difficult to walk past them seats. And then your mind starts thinking of ways to get back to first class. And guess what? That's what you start attracting to your life. And you start behaving and producing stuff to get you back into first class.
So, I mean, just go look around. I mean, being in the military does not make you a disciplined person. Being from a disciplined family does not make you a disciplined person. Being in a disciplined group does not make you a disciplined person. What makes you a disciplined person is choosing to be disciplined, right? There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are going to improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are going to make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Don't do the things that are making you weaker. Start doing the things that are going to make you stronger and smarter and faster and healthier and going to make you a better human being. You want to be more disciplined? Get after it. And no, it is not easy. But you're not going to get it from anyone else but you. And it's worth it. And it is the thing that is going to bring you freedom.
You were chosen for something. Get with that. Know that. Be with that. Live your life from that place. And don't judge what the possibilities are for your life based upon where you are right now. Where you are right now is your rightful place. Your rightful place is where your thoughts have brought you. Your true place is where your thoughts can take you. You created an opening. You about to take off now. You about to go to another level now. This is your time. You got to say that to yourself. This is my time. Even if you don't have no money to rub together. Why? Les, you got to be crazy. Absolutely. Yes. You got to be out of your mind to say that. You've lost your business. You've gone through foreclosure. You lost your job. Your marriage is on the rocks. The kids are going crazy. Yeah. You got to be out of your mind. In order for you to reinvent yourself, you got to let another mind be in you.
It is the struggle. It is the wrestling. It is the pulling. It is the trial. It is the temptation. It is the stumbling and falling and getting back up again. It is the aggravation and the intimidation that gives you foundation. It's not just the mechanical influence of robotically doing. It is just that as you go to do it, you learn things about yourself that you didn't know. You learn how to go through aggravation and heartache. You learn how to deal with obstacles and situations. And while you're trying to do, all of a sudden you're going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It is the process that gives you foundation. It is the struggle, the discipline of doing. Says there is no shortcut to excellence. You just can't fast track it.
You don't get discipline from your parents. You don't get discipline from your parents, from your grandparents, from your older brothers and sisters. You don't get discipline from an external source. You have to get it from you. That's what self-discipline is. You get it from yourself. You get it from you. There's people from every possible background, from no parents to crazy parents to, drug addicted parents to super squared away parents, and everywhere in between on that spectrum that are completely disciplined people. More disciplined than anyone I know.
And just got to stop playing around and get serious. Most people, like me, for a period of my life, was seriously not serious. People who are serious are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. They're serious. When something happens to us, rather than surrender, rather than give in to the naysayers, rather than say, I can't do it, I don't have the money, I don't have the contacts, I don't know the right people, or I tried, it did not work. Keep moving. See, nothing works unless you work. And have the mindset, this is my time. That energy, listen to me, that energy, this is my time. This is the moment for my breakthrough. Have no sign and nothing to point to justify this state of mind. There's a power that we have in us that most of us never tap into. People get more excited about a sporting event than the life that's in them to do something magnificent, to manifest their greatness.
I want to focus on what we can succeed. We can make that very real. Whatever we focus on, we get. Some things you talked about are very real. But what we have to do again is condition ourselves to change those beliefs that the outside world is going to determine our success. The only thing that's going to determine is the inside world. The things that you believe and the actions you take every day are what shape your destiny. And although there will be challenges, there's no doubt. Although people will judge you, there's no doubt. Although the people put up walls, there's no doubt. But you can make it through those walls if you focus on where's the hole. If you focus on how do I get over the wall or under it or around it. And people that succeed focus on what they can do, how to make things work, instead of focusing on, well, it probably won't work anyway, so why even try? If you look for answers, if you focus on answers, you'll get them, but you gotta not give up. You gotta stop making excuses. You gotta take some action. That's what personal power is, the ability to take action in spite of all the fears, in spite of all the reasons why you couldn't make it.
You're believing the most limiting thoughts. And you have to remember, we all have a 2-million-year-old brain. And it's not designed to make you happy, it's designed to make you survive. So it's always looking for what's wrong. Remember we played the game, Look for Brown, and you all saw beige and called it brown just to feel successful? I said, look for red, you saw burgundy, you called it red, so you could get more scores. Whatever you're looking for, seek and ye shall what? Find. says that in a very good book called The Good Book. And you don't have to be religious to understand this, that this is a fact of life. So if you and I are going to really take things to a different level, we got to see what could mess it up. So the mind could mess it up, but what aspect of the mind? What makes us start to believe those thoughts? What's the emotion that messes us up? What is it? It's absolutely fear. But there's more than this. Every day of our lives, we live in a world that is incredibly complex. It is no more stressful than World War II, when none of us in this room probably remember that time, but it looked like democracy was disappearing and the Germans were going to win at one stage. That's stressful. Being in a foxhole is stressful. You're not making as much money as you want, or being a little overweight, or someone calling you names online. That is not stressful. We're making it stressful. We've lost perspective. Who's with me on this? Say aye. So what's really useful, I think, today is for us to figure out what messes us up. And one of the biggest things that messes us up is expectation. Right? What did we say the other day? Trade your expectations for appreciation, and your whole life changes. Because when you're expecting things and it doesn't happen, you get upset. So that first day also was all about, what if you lived your life and you made a decision? And the decision was, life is too short to suffer. It's too short to be stressed, pissed off, fearful, worried. Who's with me on this? Say aye. But our minds, our survival software, is always looking for what's wrong. Our job is to create the happiness. And the only way you do that is you draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not going to suffer. I'm going to be honest. If I start to feel that stress, I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to realize we're the only creatures on the planet that can think a thought and become angry. Think a thought and become playful. Think a thought and be worried. Think a thought and feel loved. That's why we can change how fast. But you have to take control and train this brain. If you don't train this brain, it'll use you instead of you using it. You have to identify with your heart or your soul or your spirit instead of the brain. As I said, in China, the heart is the emperor. It is the highest energy. It's the thing that is worshipped, because when you were born, there was no brain. Your heart started beating and there wasn't a brain in you as a fetus. It has its own intelligence. It produces hormones that strengthen your bones. It is the strongest force in your immune system. This is the ticket. This is what we get caught up in. We want to use the head and heart together, and then we have the power of both of them. So to do that, though, we got to give up the expectation that people are going to behave the way we want them to. Because what are the chances, if your happiness is dependent upon everyone around you, your mother behaving the way you think she should, your father, your brother, your sister, your co-workers, your employees, what are the chances of everybody living the way you think they should? On a 0 to 100% scale, what are the chances? So why would we allow this to be? Because it's just a bad habit.
I think there's a lot of roads to the mountaintop. I have the perspective that I have because that was my journey. And I had to start figuring out how to walk in the darkness, because that's kind of what it's like.
What darkness? What do you mean?
Like, meaning when you're caught in this psychocybernetic loop.
Can you define psychocybernetics?
Yeah. So it's this idea that what you believe will dictate your thoughts on a moment-by-moment basis. So if you believe that, money's hard to make, as a simple example, you're not going to have ideas or thoughts around money that would be lending to making it easily, right? And so what you believe dictates what you think. You can't get like an apple from an orange tree. And what you think, you then experience as an emotion, right? And then that emotion then dictates what actions you do or do not take. And they're always aligned, right? Your beliefs dictate your thoughts, dictate your emotions, dictate your actions, which produce your results. And your results, when you look at them, then just reinforce the original belief. And so we're caught in that construct, right? But the linchpin is the belief system. So the question is, how do I actually change what I believe? If my beliefs really do dictate my destiny, right? Which is, I'm not the only person suggesting that. The question becomes, how do I change my beliefs? And in that is an inherent challenge because by definition, beliefs are that which are true, right, for us. And so then the question is, how do we break out of this? My way of breaking out of it was at one point to understand, and I'll start to kind of walk you through the structure of it, to understand that there were only two states of emotional beingness that I could be in at any given point in time. I would either be in a powerful state of being, states like joy, curiosity, excitement, calm, peace, passion, or I would be in a primal state of being, boredom, anger, frustration, some form of fear. I'm always in one of those two states, and I'm never in two states at one time. Those map beautifully to the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, right? So at any moment, we're either in fight or flight or we're in rest and relaxation. Through my journey, what I realized was the only cause of that switch to be flipped was my own thinking. The meaning that I was giving the experience. The experience itself wasn't dictating whether I was in a primal state or a powerful state, whether I was in sympathetic fight or flight or parasympathetic rest and restoration or relaxation. It was the meaning I was giving the experience. And so that meant that all of my personal suffering was within my own control. I needed to start controlling the meaning I was giving the experiences of life.
I'm a huge believer in identity driving behaviors. I have a hard time explaining to people, though, how to adopt a new identity. How have you done it in your own life? I think that's the best.
Yeah, I mean, my identity, obviously this is a work in progress, right? I would say that I would start with they call it the two smallest words in the English language, but they're the two most powerful words in the English language. It's I am. Right? I am, because whatever you put after that determines your destination or your destiny, right? And I think your identity is who you believe you are. And I feel like when we're talking about playing to the edge of our limits and really playing there and living in that place where we're stretching, I do believe, and I get inspired every time I see your Insta story. You're like, it's like 4:30 and you're working out, you're doing your work, but that's who you are, right? You don't have to fight it because you can't imagine yourself not doing that. And that's the level of that I think is what's most important. So I would think about going through an exercise, and I've done this with friends. I've had them sit, or in groups, we do these conferences and such, and I have people pair up with someone they don't know, and what they're going to do is they're going to do an exercise, I am, and they're going to talk about, they're literally going to fill in the blanks for 3 minutes until I call time.
Wow.
So you have to go like, and you could do this right now. Like if you were to fill in I am blank, like I would say, I am a student, I am a teacher, I am a son, I'm all this. But eventually I'll get to a point where I don't know what else to say. And that's what the real interesting answers come out of, right? Because it's a great way for networking and knowing somebody else, but it also shows us this really big tapestry of our life to the point that we've gotten to right now, where I relate to these aspects of ourselves. And I think it's a nice exercise when we talk about self-awareness being a superpower, really knowing who we think we are. Because if we don't believe that we're a public speaker, or we're a great parent, or we're a great learner or genius, then we'll never be able to reach our full potential, because that will always be the ceiling that we bump up against.
People have a story, I can't find love because my dad left when I was 1. I can't find love because my mum preferred my brother. I can't be a success because I never went to university. I can't speak in public because I blush. Without understanding, when you describe where you can't, you keep it going. If you keep talking about the symptom, your mind keeps it alive, because whatever you focus on, you get more of. And so a lot of people have language that's completely irrelevant. Like, yes, I know your dad left when you was 1. I know your mother put you up into foster care and didn't love you, but that's then. This is now. And so they have outdated stories, outdated language. I can't do that because the classic one I hear all the time, oh my God, my boyfriend just ripped out my heart, stamped all over it, killed me. And if I find love again, it will kill me. I'm like, darling, he got bored. And you would have got bored too if you'd stuck around. and that was your starter relationship, go and find a better one with someone amazing. Everything he loved in you, he didn't take it home with him, it's still there. So don't use that irrelevant, I found love and it killed me when it ended. So I found love, the wrong person, but I'm going to find it again with the right person. It's going to be amazing and compelling. He's going to fall in love with my soul and you'll be together forever. Because you got to turn your mind on, and it loves exciting words, dramatic words. Really loves words that make a picture. So if I said to you, you can be the most phenomenal, powerful, awesome, incredible speaker. When you speak on stage, everyone stops to listen. You could hear a pin drop. They look at you. They hear what you're saying. They like you. The mind goes, oh, I like this. I know where I'm going here. But when you go, I'm not bad at speaking. Sometimes I'm quite good. Occasionally, I really get it right. The mind goes, what are you talking about? That's not dramatic enough for me.
This is going back sometimes. I think 1992, we were stuck. But I knew there was more possibility. There was room for growth. And I wanted to figure out if the stuff that I did in the 80s when I was a kid, that broke free, would it work with some of my agents? And so we took 75 agents, randomly. Agents said, hey, do you want to get into a 6-month program to retrain your brain, your subconscious brain, around your beliefs about what is possible for you to achieve, around your habits of what you have to do in order to achieve that. And we focused on retraining their subconscious mind. And so for 6 months, they had to go through a process of listening to certain audio tapes, reading certain materials every day, and following the process of training their brain, specifically their subconscious brain, which controls 95 to 98% of all of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors today. And within 6 months, that group increased sales by $100 million.
Jesus.
$100 million. And I said, holy shit, right? This is working. And so we started to teach. Some of what we teach now in NeuroGym, actually now we have the technologies, we have the systems that are far better than what we did back in the 90s. And we went from 1.2 billion to 4.5 billion a year. And it wasn't because we taught them any more skills to be real estate agents. We taught them how to change the way they thought about themselves. We taught them how to change their habits. Our agents who made $750,000 or more were in front of a client 75% of the time. And when we asked all the agents that weren't in front of more clients, why are you doing that? Why aren't you in front of people that are going to help you earn more income? Oh, well, we're busy doing this and doing this and doing this. And they had stories and excuses and reasons why.